Tusk. Let's finally talk about Tusk, the Kevin Smith movie. I mean, I still have my chili porter. I'm still game. This movie has actually been recommended a lot ever since it got released back in 2014. Also for the most disturbing movies ever made series. But I felt that it would never really fit one of those videos. So here we are now, just talking about it. Now, let's see. So, here we have Justin Long and that kid from The Sixth Sense. Or well, in this case, that guy from Tusk. They're podcasters, just like Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier. What a coincidence. They run this raunchy, kinda juvenile show where they talk about weird and interesting people. So at one point, Justin Long finds this handwritten ad, if you will, from an old man renting out a room with the promise of a lot of interesting stories, you know, that the man will tell you. So Justin's like, hey, that might be cool for the show. So he visits him and, well, he definitely has some interesting stories to tell, but we soon find out that he might have some ulterior motives as well. Sure. When this movie was coming out, I remember that mostly what I got from it was that it was gonna be like a human centipede, Kevin Smith style. I was like, sure, okay, I mean, I don't really mind Kevin Smith. I've seen a bunch of his movies. I like him. But the trailer made it seem like he was gonna play it like a straight up horror movie, despite it saying comedy in the video title. So I was mostly just a little confused. And then after seeing it twice now, I still am a little confused. So, the old man, he really likes walruses. More so than he does humans, it seems. And, well, I don't want to spoil the movie, but it seems like he wants to turn Justin Long into a walrus. Wouldn't that be crazy? And, well, you know what? That would be a little crazy. But it would also be a little silly. So, from here on, there are going to be a few spoilers in this video, so if you want to avoid all of that, just skip to here, this time mark, okay? Okay? Because, yeah, Justin Long's character does get turned into a walrus. And I want to show you a clip of that, and then, you know, I'll give you two reactions to choose from, you know, like, reaction-wise to that scene. So, there's A. Oh wow, that was really disturbing. Or B. That was kind of silly. Well, let's see. So, the correct answer, of course, is B. If you chose A, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just kidding, but if anything, it's all just very confusing. I mean, when the old man drugs Justin Long and basically kidnaps him in this misery type of scenario, it's pretty freaky. You're really like, oh shit, where's this going? You know, like, this is some serious shit. But then later, this happens. And really, you're like, what? And when Justin's girlfriend and his podcast buddy find out that he's been kidnapped and then eventually meet up with this quirky detective, it gets even more weird. The detective, he's so silly with his facial expressions and his funny accent.
I sleep like the breastfed baby, and I wake up.
And the other two characters, they keep playing every scene with such a straight face. It's so surreal. It's funny though. The first time watching it, it took me about half the movie to realize that the silly detective was being played by Johnny Depp. Yeah, they got me there, all right. But what I'm mostly trying to say here is that I have no idea what this movie was trying to be. I mean, sure, it's a Kevin Smith movie, so a comedy would make sense. Although he did try his hand at the horror genre a little more lately. Then again, you know, given the origin of this movie, it's most likely never meant to be taken all that seriously. With the origin being, in case you didn't know, Kevin Smith finding this weird ad on this British Craigslist type of website where a man offered a rent-free room as long as the tenant was willing to act as a walrus. and he then went on his Smartcast podcast talking about and joking and laughing about how that would work as a movie. And then at the end of his podcast, he would ask his audience to tweet out either #walrus_yes or #walrus_no, you know, basically asking them if he should actually make the movie. And well, I think you can all imagine what happened from there. The biggest problem for me, however, is that as a comedy, it's it's not really funny. And as a horror movie, it's not really scary. It mostly just left me a little indifferent. Sure, I mean, yeah, it's an easy watch, it's entertaining. Michael Parks as the old man, he's great. And there's fun cameos like the epic mealtime guy, Kevin Smith's wife, and both Kevin Smith and Johnny Depp's daughters, who you can now even see in their own spin-off movie. But on the other hand, Justin's character is mostly just a dick. He's not very likable. The prosthetic effects, they look way too prosthetic-y. And, well, like I already said, the horror and comedy is just so unevenly balanced. Plus, either way, just not very effective. So, Tusk. I've seen it twice now, and, well, both times while watching it, you know, like, I was more or less entertained. It's all good. But also both times afterwards I just felt like I wanted something more of something. Like I can't even really specify what. It's definitely not a complete waste of time, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that. It's just, you know, like if you decide to go watch it, just know what you're getting yourself into. Just like know what to expect. And well, that's all I have for you guys today, so cheers, have a nice day.